Cleo Cole. This is a great opportunity to have you here. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for inviting me, and great to be here.
Awesome. So, we're just kind of gonna. Let me start with you. Maybe how'd you get into drums? Like when you were growing up, drums and music and everything.
Oh man, well. First, I like to. Oh man, I have to thank the Creator, man, because I'm a blessing. I'm a blessing, and He blessed me to do what I'm able to do. Drumming. I started out very young. In my house, I have 5 brothers, and we had a guitar. We had a guitar in the house. Mm-hmm. So I came from a poor family, and the way music was, my oldest brother, Bo, he introduced me to the music. But in my family, you had to start playing guitar.
Okay.
It was that's what the instrument that was there.
Where'd you grow up?
On Lake Park, 4604 South Lake Park in Chicago.
Okay, so that's
right over there by the lake.
What number south would it be?
4,800.
Oh, 4,800 south.
Yeah,
okay,
47. Right off the lake.
Nice.
It's amazing. I grew up over there, and I still don't know how to swim. Yeah. I grew up next to the lake, but anyway.
It's cold. The water's cold. It's
not
exactly the best place to learn.
Learn how to swim. Yeah. But anyway, so the choice of your instrument in our house was the guitar. So they said, okay. My brother introduced me to music, and he says, well, if you want to play an instrument, it has to be the guitar, because that's what we had.
Sure.
Okay. So we played, so I tried my luck playing the guitar. I actually started playing guitar. I was probably in about sixth, 7th grade.
Okay.
And actually started a band.
Nice.
And started a band in 7th grade. And it was just a little band.
So when you were growing up, I don't even know how old you are. So when you started this band, what was the year?
Think
back.
Now, how old are you when you're in 8th grade?
So this is when you were really young.
Yeah, this is when I was really young.
Yeah.
8, 9, so 70.
I have some friends who grew up right around there, and they always talk about how much music there was.
Oh, yeah.
Right around that area. Because you're almost to University of Chicago then, right?
Yes.
But you're not quite. It's like...
Not quite.
Yeah, and so... that whole area. My buddy, he grew up a little south of the university, but right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he always was talking about, there were so many clubs everywhere. A club, another club, music everywhere.
Everywhere clubs.
What kind of music were you guys doing?
Well, we were doing R&B. The name of the group was Black Fire.
All right.
Okay, so I tell you. Okay, so I started playing guitar, and I'm starting to take lessons because I always wanted to do it the right way. So I'm taking lessons. And one day, the drummer did not show up. One day the drummer didn't show up for rehearsal.
Okay.
It was all of us, we were rehearsing, and the drummer did not show up. And, we were just sitting around, and then Keith, my friend Keith Knox, he plays the bass. He was a bass player. I said, man, I want to try them drums, man. I want to try them drums. I always liked drums. But my mom said I could only play the guitar because she wasn't buying no drums.
Sure.
So, man, I got back on that set, and boy, when I got on that set, we started playing, and man, the Lord shined a light on me. It was like that thing when you remember that Jake and Elroy?
Elwood, yeah.
Yeah, Elwood. Yeah. When the Lord shined the light on James Brown in that church.
Yeah.
Man, that happened to me right there, man.
I can see the light.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Nice.
I said, man. So I said to myself, man, I want to do this.
Sure.
This is what I want to do, man, because everybody was saying, wow, you're pretty good at it, you know. They were surprised, you know. But, man, so that's what I wanted to do. So, man, I kicked that guitar to the curb. I said, no, I did what I could.
Did you stay with the band, or would you start a new group? Or
I didn't stay with the band. I
Okay.
did not stay with the band. We kind of broke up. You know, it was like I said, we were like 7th or 8th grade.
That's such a great
or
name for your
something,
first
you know.
band. The first band that I was in, it was called Lasagna.
Oh,
That's what we called the band. Lasagna.
lasagna.
Yeah, I just figured I'd throw that in.
Oh, wow.
Yours has way cooler name. Yeah. Anyways, but
Did you guys eat a lot of lasagna?
it was just a goofy thing.
Okay.
We were about the same age though as you were.
Yeah.
There. So and I think he just really loved his mother's lasagna, and he wanted to write a song about it. So not only was that the name of the song, but it's the name of the band.
Right.
I met those guys. I think it was in like Lombard or something. I met them through one of my teachers, who that was it was like orchestral stuff. That was kind of
okay.
Did that for years.
Oh, okay.
That was great.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's it.
Old stories. I like your story.
Yeah.
A little better though. I was on drums already. Piano was my first instrument though, but
Oh, okay.
I still play. Do you still play guitar at all? Do you play?
I play a little bit.
Okay.
I have a bass.
I
a
always
bass.
say that if there's multiple instruments,
Yeah.
it kind of sometimes maybe it'll make you so you can't practice the one quite as much, but it
Right.
maybe gives you a little bit of an insight into what what the other people are.
Are
Even if you don't
doing.
become
Yeah.
really great at it, you
Right.
can still kind of
see where
empathize
it's, see
with
where
them.
it's going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, man, when I so after I started playing drums, okay, so my mom wouldn't buy me a drum set, so I didn't really get a drum set until I was a little bit older, back in my teens, you know.
Right.
And my first drum set was a Ruther. A Ruther.
Okay.
It was
I'm trying to think if I've seen one of those before.
yeah, it was
What was the finish?
man, the finish was kind of like that sparkle, but it was a blue
Okay.
sparkle,
Yeah.
man. So it was a Ruther set, and I just started playing.
How old were you when you got that?
I think I was probably 16.
16,
you know,
okay.
16, 17, you know, definitely getting up there, you know,
Sure.
able to, I had a little job, so I was able to buy
Right.
myself a drum set, you know. So, man, I wanted to really get into the drums, you
Sure.
know. So as I got older, you know, I went to the Conservatory of Music down there on Michigan, across from the Art Institute.
We were talking about that. I think
Yeah.
that's in the Fine Arts Building.
Yeah.
But for some reason, everything in my life, in many of these podcasts, it always, maybe half of them, there's always something that goes back to that building.
Yeah.
The shop started there, you know.
Okay. Oh, in that. Oh, nice.
So, and I know I've heard of it's called the Academy of Music,
yeah, the American Conservatory.
or American Conservatory.
Yeah.
I've heard, you know, spoken to many people. I went to Roosevelt, so I was also around that area quite a
Yeah.
bit. And my wife still works at that building. But anyways,
wow.
yeah, back to you. So
Man, but so I always wanted to, you know, know what to do with the drums. So I did the lessons. I did it for years, you know, just so, and they teach you so much stuff, you know,
Yeah.
as far as how to tune drums. The Bible book, of course, was the George Stone Stick Control.
Sure, yeah.
that was like our Bible. That was the book that
Yeah.
you had to at least start out with. You
Right.
know? And just from there, man, I just got in. I started playing blues.
Right.
In blues bands. I was in this band called Doug McDonald in the Blue Mirror Band. and I started in that band, and you know, it was just a local band. We didn't travel or anything.
So
You
what are
know,
some venues you guys
maybe-
were playing around those days?
Oh man, you know, back in those days, it was all the little joints, like the small taverns in the neighborhoods.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just nothing real huge. You
So
know?
yeah.
Nothing real huge. You know, just a small.
Probably don't even remember half the names.
Yeah. Baby O's is probably one of the
Oh,
places. You know,
okay.
but
Someone listening might remember. Who knows?
yeah. It was just small places around the city, different clubs and things.
Sure.
But so I played with Doug for a while. Okay, so then a guy asked me to come down, Big James and the Chicago Playboys. Now this was a horn band.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so
That's
what
usually a good thing.
what happened was this cat called me at the spare of right when the gig, his drummer couldn't show up. His drummer couldn't show up for the gig. Okay, so he asked me to come down and play the gig. I hadn't listened to any of their music, you know. I said, he just asked me to come down. He said, come on down and just sit in with us and play our music and help us get through this gig,
Sure.
you know. So, I did. I was still with Doug, but I tried to. I just wanted to see what else was out there, you know.
Sure.
So I played with him, Big James and the Chicago Playboys, and I played with him.
Yeah. I gotta move the mic a little. If you
Oh.
direct it like down that, yeah.
Oh,
that'd be a
okay.
little better. Just so it's pointing. Yeah, pointing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're dynamic. They pick up
oh,
what's right in front of them.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, this type of mic. The reason I got these is because this room is really big, so they pick up only what's right next to it.
What?
So I don't get all that
okay.
reverb, you know.
So okay.
And then apparently, I think Thriller was Michael Jackson sang on one of these. Actually,
Oh.
that's a funny note.
just the.
I'm not
for
sure if
the-
that's
the
true, but
effect.
I heard that.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess he just liked the way they sound.
Okay.
They're a classic vocal mic.
Yeah.
A lot of people use them. But anyways, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, that's okay. So after I did that gig, you know, he says, "Oh, I want you in the band."
Sure.
And I played with Big James. Wow, that was an opening. That was an eye opening to play with him.
Yeah.
Man, that's when we really started traveling. Big traveling over to Europe.
Oh, wow.
France. Yeah, we traveled an awful lot, you know.
I'm sure
And-
someone listening probably has heard of that band before.
Yeah, oh, I'm pretty sure. Canada.
If you've
you know?
gone, yeah, because
Yeah.
people. So you went to? Did you go to the UK at all, like Britain?
No, just
the continent.
up in Canada, Toronto,
Oh,
and
cool.
stuff, places like that, you know.
Yeah.
So his touring circle was much bigger than Doug's. Okay, so I told Doug, you know, I quit Doug
Sure.
and went on with him, with Big James. And I was with Big James, man, we were probably together, I want to say 14 years.
Oh wow, it's
you
a
know?
long run.
Yeah, it was a long ride.
Especially if you're playing a lot and you're together all the time. You gotta get along real well.
Yeah, having fun,
Yeah.
you know? Man, that's all we did, man. We over here, over there, everywhere, man. So,
During all this, did you like live in Chicago, or did you?
yeah, I always stayed in. I stayed in Chicago, and then after a while, I moved out into the surrounding suburbs. You know,
Sure.
Hillside. I was over in Hillside a while, and yeah, man, I just toured with him, and we made a couple of records. We were on Blind Pig.
Nice.
We were on Blind Pig.
Yeah, people might be able to find them. Where can you?
Oh yeah.
Get them. Probably are they
Yeah.
available? Maybe.
Yeah, he's on. Man, I'm pretty sure he's on Spotify and
Yeah.
Big James, Chicago Playboys.
Sure.
We are out there. Trust me.
Probably if you want to get a CD copy, maybe like.
Yeah. He's definitely out there.
I like to have hard copies of everything. Actually, I made a vinyl a while ago.
Oh, nice.
Just because I wanted to. That was
Yeah.
before I had kids. So for just a very short period of time, I had a little bit of like disposable income, and because now it all goes to daycare, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, man.
for the short period of time, that's what I did with it. I made like one record. I'll give you one. Do you have a LP? You got a record player?
Oh, yeah. I still play.
I'll give you one. Remind me. Don't.
Oh, no
before you go.
problem.
It's just
Yeah.
like really old fashioned jazz stuff. It's nothing,
Yeah.
like too groundbreaking, but
Hey,
it was fun.
Hey, that's good. I like that. I told you, I'm living in the 70s, so.
Yeah, music. I think in the '70s, there's so much good stuff. That was
Yeah.
kind of an American music that was really
Yeah. It was
confluence of so many different styles that.
Yes.
And yeah, I really like the fusion stuff from then. That's kind of my.
Yeah, the Billy Cobb hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What
That's it.
when so.
Yeah.
How did you get to go see any of those bands? Maybe like
Yeah.
Any stories about that?
Oh yeah, sure. I always followed the drums. Drums are my life, by the way. I live drums. My first marriage broke up because of the drums.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Not the first
Yeah.
time I've heard that.
Yeah. I mean, that was just something. I'm a drummer, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do that for the rest of my life, and I didn't care.
Sure.
I went around to all the clinics. Dennis Chambers, Omar Hakim, Louis Belson, Max Roach. I went to see him at the Blackstone Library. I'm sorry, not the Blackstone
Hotel.
Hotel.
That's a jazz showcase. Yeah.
Yes.
It was there.
Yes.
I saw like one show there, I think, when I was really young.
Yeah.
Because I was born in '85. Mm-hmm. So when were you born then?
I was born in 1960.
Okay, 60. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. You definitely. If I could go back to see an era of American music, it
Yeah.
would probably be like the '70s.
Right.
Because there's a lot of cool stuff. Because jazz was kind of the best jazz stuff is then.
Yeah.
'60s and '70s, probably.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just endless. Like
Yeah.
they made so much then. They didn't leave enough for us.
Right.
That's what I say sometimes. Like they were so much creativity that
Yeah.
it's hard not to be, like to use it as an influence. All that stuff, to not write something that's like so heavily influenced by it that it's like copying.
Right. Man. Yeah. Those were that were.
It's called to be
wonderful.
derivative, to be
Yeah.
overly derivative,
Yeah.
Like if you're writing some good tunes and it has like a nice funk bass line, you're gonna be
Yeah.
kind of copying one of those guys
Right.
from like
that you
70s.
that you heard before. 'Cause
Right.
it's, like you say, it's so much.
Yeah, well, who's
so
like a
much
bass
of it.
player you really like playing with?
Well, before we get to that one, I got to tell you about this Prince story. I got to tell you
Ooh.
about this Prince
Okay.
story. Okay. All right. So Big James, we up in Minnesota, right? We up in Minnesota. We playing at a place called Famous Dave. This is a great barbecue place, man. They had the best like ribs in the world.
All right.
But anyway, we up in Minnesota, and then James says, well, let's go over to Paisley Park. And this is around, they had just got this thing off the ground. Oh, let me see. I want to say, I'm trying to get the date. I want to say about 95, I want to say maybe, 95.
This is like a new venue?
This is Prince's place, Paisley Park. This is this is his place that he built up.
And he has shows there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he had shows there.
I like his
That's
music.
right.
On a side note, I like his music because it always has these little things that are kind of surprising. He'll put
Yeah.
like an extra measure in or an extra beat, cool
Oh,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know like anything about him, but I really like.
Well-
and he's also a pretty good bass player, I think.
Well, man, I'm a big Prince fan.
Yeah.
I'm a super big Prince fan, and boy, we rode up there. We went to his place, and of course he had a party going on.
Yeah.
Right. And man, he treated us so well. Well, first of all, to get in the place, they had a line probably about 200 people in line to get in the place.
Sure.
Okay. So we get there and we like, man, it's a line, right? So our manager goes up to the front line and tell Prince people that, hey, this is Big James, we're Chicago Playboys from Chicago, and we come to hang out.
Sure.
So Prince people came all the way to the back and got us, took us all the way to the front, and everybody was looking at us like, who are these people, because they were taking us to the front of the line.
Sure.
They took us all the way to the front of the
VIPs
line.
here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He treated musicians so well.
Nice.
He treated them so well. The only thing with him is you couldn't bring no cameras. No
Okay,
cameras.
sure.
All your cameras had to stay in the car.
Yeah.
No photos, nothing. This was before cell phones, by the way.
Sure.
I think they still had pagers.
Maybe he's just worried that like he doesn't want to be like on the paper the next day or something.
Yeah, I guess, man. I guess.
Paparazzi, as they call it, right? Didn't like that. Yeah.
I guess. But okay, so we go in, and the music's loud and everything, and they jamming. They got a jam going on. So James asked one of the security guards, one of Prince's people, can we play in the jam? And they got back to us, and Prince came and said, yeah, we can play.
Nice.
Right? We could play. So, all right. So now that we're going to play in this jam, man, we waiting around till it's our turn. And we go up on the stage. Prince called us on the stage, and I meet him. I shake his hands. All right? He takes me over to the drum set. All right? Now, he got all types of triggers that triggers his music.
Okay.
Right? So he's telling me, I'm sitting up here, and oh man, it was just a hell of an experience for me. I'm sitting up here, I'm like I'm just so overwhelmed,
Sure.
So I want to say I'm like a little kid, man, because this guy, we right here, he's right there. He said, okay, don't hit this, don't hit that.
Was
Don't
like a
hit
rolling
this.
pad, something like that?
Rolling pads
Yeah.
and certain drums with triggers.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. Anything, anything you say,
Sure.
Man, I couldn't believe it.
Was it a good time though?
So it was a good time. I sat down on the drums, and it took me, I was still excited. And James said that I counted that first song off too fast,
No.
which I probably did, because I'm trying to calm down,
Sure.
It's not
Yeah,
often.
sitting-in's always a little stressful.
Yeah. It's not often you don't get a chance to see your idol,
Sure.
And
So was he actually jamming with you, or was it just like other guys? And he was just there.
Well, the whole band was there, so we actually took up the whole stage.
Okay.
And he asked our guitar player. He said, "You want to play my guitar, the Cloud? The Cloud guitar." Mike said no, and Prince he went in the back. He says, "Well, I'm gonna do the sound for you guys." So he was working the sound board. He was working the soundboard, and man, I think we started in that place. We got to that place around 1:00.
Right.
We did not leave that place till like 7 that morning, and it was good, man. We
I haven't had a night like
we
that in a while.
played-
That's really
oh my goodness, man! We played, and Prince even told us. He wrote an article. He said that we were jamming, and he was grateful we came. We was happy to be there. So we had a good time. Oh, so that was the highlight of my life.
Sure. That's a cool story.
Man, that was the highlight of my life, man.
Yeah, it must have been.
It was a heck of a man. It was a heck of a ride. I want to tell you. I don't know. Sometimes how sometimes things happen like that. You wish you could have maybe been a little more prepared.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. Got about 1 million.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to like, I played jazz jam sessions sometimes, and then like, if maybe you have a couple drinks because no one really showed up and no one's,
Right.
And then right then, of course, then someone really big deal shows up.
Right.
Oh, great. And then you don't play quite as well, Yeah, I totally, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And then not preparing, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
I don't really know how you could prepare for that, though.
Yeah, right? I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right.
It didn't sound like you were, you were like wasted or something. Yeah.
Well, no, I wasn't wasted. I think I was just starstruck.
Sure, yeah.
That's what, I couldn't believe. I mean, and that's, he's pretty, he is short.
Oh, he's a little guy, yeah.
Short. So I'm like, he's like, okay, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Did you use his, did it start like a beat? If you hit one of them, it started
it would start his song. His
Okay.
song. Like maybe the beginning of his song.
So you probably are pretty good at playing with click tracks, I imagine. Do you play with clicks usually, or do you not? Or?
I don't get a lot of chance to play with clicks. A lot of times with my training
Sure.
in drumming, like when we're in the studios, they always tell me that I have good time. Because, you can tell. You can tell whether the beat is going up or down or fast or slow.
Sure.
So they always look on the computer. You can actually see the printout. And he always tell me, he says, man, you got a good meter.
Yeah.
And I thank him. And I always been like that.
Yes.
Because when I first started learning how to play, they gave me George Stone stick control and a metronome.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Those two, and they said that the metronome is your friend, and that's what we want you to be, a metronome. So you have to get in cahoots with this metronome. So, because, people have a tendency to, when they play, and after you come off a solo, then you have a tendency to rush the time,
Sure.
But I don't do that. I just, set that pace and remember where I'm at.
It's about the most important thing. Yeah. The drummer's kind of the foundation.
Yeah. The heartbeat of the band.
Yeah.
That's it. My teacher said they don't call that a chair, they call it a throne, and it's because you're a king, and the king, you driving this thing.
I never heard that before. That's funny.
Yeah,
I've been using the word since because my dad. I grew up with drum sets and talk of drum sets, all the time. So I never even thought about it. It's called the throne. Why is it called the throne?
Yeah. That's what my teacher always told me.
So I know you're big into Yamaha. You like the Yamaha drums.
Yeah, I like the Yamaha.
When did that happen? When when did you first get a really nice Yamaha kit that you remember? When did you first get to play on one?
I think I got my first a Yamaha kit back in the I want to say the 80s.
The 80s, okay.
Yeah, back in the 80s, I got my first Yamaha kit. It was my.
Do you remember the first time you saw one? A lot of the people I talk to they always have fond memories of the catalogs, and then you also, which shop did you? I mean, you would have gone to Frank's probably, and then Drums Limited. Probably, right?
Yeah. I went to Frank's. I think I bought a kit out of Frank's.
Yeah.
And I bought I just pretty much liked the Yamahas. I like the hardware, how it fits on the drum itself.
Sure.
And you don't need a lot of extra hardware with the Yamaha kits because everything bolts to the bass drum, bass drum. And I don't know. I just, I used to work a regular job. And I also used to drum, right? So I worked a regular job doing the. I was a forklift driver.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
And in a pharmaceutical company.
Okay.
And I loaded semi trucks. And at night I go play gigs, right?
Sure.
So I was, man, I'm telling you, when I was young, man, I lost a lot of sleep because I would
Sure.
have to go after I get through with that shift.
That's
I
rough.
would have to go and
Some people are
and
better
play.
at dealing with that than other people. I'm one of those people. I will like not do well. How many hours a night do you think you were sleeping?
Well,
or I guess a day, because it sounds like you're
well,
probably sleeping during the day.
I'll tell you what happened to me when I used to do that. It was I wasn't really taking care of my body because you got to sleep,
Sure.
you know, and I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. So I came down. I tell you what slowed me down was I came down with shingles,
Oh, jeez.
and it hit me.
How old were
It
you?
was weird. I was like in my I wanted probably in my 30, 35.
That's really
36,
that's like
you know?
that. Isn't that the like chickenpox virus? You've had it. Everyone's had it, but you
Right.
become immune to it. But that means you're hitting your immune system so hard that you can't fight it off anymore.
Right. And I just wasn't getting any rest.
Yeah.
You know, playing and working.
Did you manage to fix that by?
Yeah.
What did you do? What was your solution?
Well, I cut down on, I stopped taking every gig, and I tried to, space it out.
Sure.
Okay. So finally, after 25 years, the warehouse closed.
Oh,
They closed.
you were probably making decent
very
money
decent.
from playing, right?
I was making decent money playing, and I was making decent money with the warehouse.
So was it just enough? So
Yeah.
you just didn't quite have enough. You like didn't want to leave just because it was just enough security.
Right.
Like yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave
So
because
you were just overworking yourself. Yeah.
yeah, I was overworking.
Did you
myself.
save up some
And
money
then-
at least?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
you're
saved
gonna
up.
do that. You don't get those years back.
Yeah,
So yeah.
You do not get
You gotta
those
save
years
some money.
back.
It's like
That's right.
athletes, like stuff. People, those guys,
Right. Right. Plus, and plus, a lot of times I didn't want to. I didn't want to get rid of that job because I was thinking, wow, when you get old, I'll get a pension.
Oh, okay, that's what you were
401k, all that kind of stuff. Sure. When you get, when you really need it.
Yeah.
So I held on to the job, and when I went on tour, I would get 5 weeks vacation.
Okay.
So I would go when I go on tour. I would take the weeks
Some
of vacation.
That-
Yeah,
that
all
might
vacation.
It might sound like
Yeah.
fun, but that was
Right.
probably exhausting. By
Yeah.
the time you probably
Yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't
All
have
the
any energy to
all the vacation. Okay.
enjoy where you were.
Yeah, that's for sure. But the thing was, it worked.
Sure.
It worked because sometimes we'll be over in Paris for 2 weeks. So I put that in 2 weeks. But
I love Paris.
2 weeks vacation.
Paris is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be able to go there. It's just so like, it's all built, with that. What do they call that? The Second Empire style, I think.
Yeah.
And it's all like that because all the other European
Yeah.
cities, most of them got bombed at least a little bit, but Paris, almost not at all.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Not a lot of grass.
World War II, we're talking.
Not a lot of grass there.
There's one place that you might have liked is the Sacré-Cœur. It's like it must sound hilarious when I'm trying to say that, but it's this beautiful big church, the Rue des Martyrs, which is it's like Road of Martyrs. It's just like it sounds.
Okay.
That leads up to it, and it's one of the tallest places in all of Paris. It might even be the
Oh.
tallest hill. So there's a church on the top.
I know what you're talking
And you
about.
can sit. If
Yeah, the white church. It's a white
I think it's white.
church.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I just remember the view
Yeah.
of the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see it from up top, right? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful church.
Yeah.
that's over there. It was over there near. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of because I actually took a train over there to see that church. It's actually in the red
the
light
9th district.
Yeah.
Oh, it's close to the red light. I
Yeah,
didn't go
red light.
there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I did in
can't-
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Did you get to go to Amsterdam?
No, I have not been to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam looks like It looks like it's all is gingerbread castles. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, I went there. It was so fun. We actually went camping in Amsterdam. That was interesting. And like canoeing out of the
Right.
like, all them. They're just like, oh, these stupid Americans. What are you guys doing out here?
Right.
Yeah, they must have thought we were. This is when I was really young. I got to go there because my friend lived in Paris. I never would have gotten into a trip like that.
Okay.
But she just happened to live there. Her family's from there. But anyways, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I know anything. I don't travel almost ever.
I remember the it's called Piquel. That's where that church is.
Okay.
That Love Church is there in Piquel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where else did you go in this is so this is what was that band called again?
This is
that you were touring with a lot?
This is Big James and the Chicago Playboys.
Big James, Chicago Playboys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So I was with him 13, 14 years.
Sure.
And Mike Wheeler, he was the guitar player. He was with me. You know.
Oh,
we were all
okay. So
together.
that's the connection.
Yeah,
there.
we were
Okay.
always together.
Yeah. I listened to some of your stuff. It's really, really awesome. I got to come see you play. Like I said, next time.
Yeah.
If you play anywhere even close to here or Naperville, I'd love to.
Yes.
I'm so busy with the kids and everything, but
Right.
I still make it out of shows every now and then.
Yeah. Well, we definitely playing a lot. So after I left Big James, Mike decided to start a band. Okay. So we started a band. I jumped on board with him, and he started a band. And our first bass player was Sam Green, was our first bass player in the Mike Wheeler band. He actually gave Mike the incentive. He says, "Man, you should start your own band."
Yeah.
So we actually Mike started his own band, and
Do you guys have horns?
we had one horn. Lawrence Fields. That was
What does he play?
Was saxophone.
Okay, nice. It's
it
always
was-
good to get at least one.
Yeah, we did have one, and it was
Awesome.
5 of us.
That'll bring a show from like a 9 to like a 9.9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 5
Just
of us.
having a horn for any band.
So we just started. We just starting out, and we started our first club. We started playing at was Harlem Avenue.
Okay.
Over there on Harlem Avenue in Ogden.
I think
That's Kenny's place.
Harlem and Ogden. So
Yeah. It's a White Castle on the corner, and that's kind of where the Mike Wheeler band.
is it still there? The club?
Yeah, it's still there.
So is that in
It's still there.
Cicero then?
That's Berwyn.
Oh, it's Berwyn. Okay.
Berwyn, and
It's pretty close to Fitzgerald's.
yeah. Well, Fitzgerald is. It is.
It's right
because-
around the same neck of the woods.
Yeah, because Fitzgerald is further down.
For some reason,
Roosevelt.
that's where all the jazz players play.
Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
guys that email me like, "Hey,
Yeah.
come check out my band."
Right. Yes.
Do you guys still play there though?
Yes.
And what was the club called again?
Harlem Avenue.
Harlem Avenue?
That's where we started at. So we started Harlem Avenue, and man, we just started growing from there. We started touring. We started going overseas, Germany.
That's great.
Man, we had a good time. Good times, man. I mean, we were getting so much work with Mike, with Mike's band. We were getting so much work, man. We were like doing double gigs, man.
Right. So this is like through like the
This is-
2000s. When did you?
Yeah.
When did you start that new band?
We started. Let me see.
Mike Wheeler band.
Yeah.
He's vocalist as well.
Yeah, he's a vocalist.
That's probably the band you showed me. We watched some stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the current band.
And we'll put up like a link
Then,
to maybe
then-
where someone can
then
buy
I'll-
the new CD or like yeah.
Yeah, Mike
We'll
Wheeler-
put something up in the description. And
Yeah. MikeWheelerBand.com.
Yeah.
That's it.
Check them out.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
And if you're in Chicago, go to. So you guys mostly sometimes you'll tour, but mostly you're playing around Chicagoland.
Yeah.
Where can people come to see you? Like maybe like 2 months down the road, maybe you can do a particular gig shout out here.
Yeah, well, we doing like if you go on that website, it actually tells you our dates, but a couple of shows we doing. In fact, we start up tomorrow. We're at Blue Chicago, and then Friday we're at Buddy Guy's, and Saturday we're at Roses. So
Good
we got we playing a lot of
And you guys just played the House of Blues, I think, right?
Yeah.
So that's another place that.
Yeah, that they could see us.
Potentially,
House of Blues, yeah. It just goes on. We even do this one small club, Nick's Beer Garden.
Okay.
And that's over there on Milwaukee.
Milwaukee,
Yeah.
what?
1516 North Milwaukee.
16 North Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I went to school in Chicago. I went to high school in Chicago because I went to, it was like an arts high school. So I grew up in Wheaton, but I commuted in for high school.
Okay.
Which was crazy. They were really long days.
I can imagine.
The trip from the train station went right by there, I think. Yeah, so I know that neighborhood. There was a bus that picked us up, and I was always on the bus, and that was actually the route of the bus.
Wow.
That's like a cool little corner there.
Yeah.
Remember for the longest time there was like a triangle there where there was like a whole block that was just painted blue. It was like old buildings that were painted blue.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge skyscraper now, I think. That's something I remember. I miss Chicago. I lived there for a while. I always wanted to live there when I was a kid. What do you think of the blues scene in Chicago than just the music scene in Chicago? Maybe you can say some things and just about even out here in the suburbs, because you actually live close to, that's why we ran into each other. Also, actually, before we do that, you first started coming to the shop in Naperville.
Yes, I came to the shop. In fact, I bought 3 kits from you guys.
Yeah.
3 Yamaha kits.
I may have been there like right towards the end, but I think that you dealt with Dave Victor most of the times for those.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of like right around when I started working at the shop.
and I was still working, so I was able. I mean, the kits wasn't cheap. They were the top brand,
like Recording
the
Custom?
Yamaha Maple Customs.
And obviously they would have been. Were they new kits or used?
Yeah,
kits?
no, new, brand new. So
these were new kits.
They were all new. I bought all new because what I did was when I was working, I said, well, what I'm gonna do is collect drums. Just buy kits. Collect drums while I have the money.
Sure. Well, actually, drums, if you take good care of them, musical instruments in general actually are not a bad place to put your money.
Yeah.
They, especially like now, because there's a lot of uncertainty right now.
Yeah.
And this is me like shamelessly advertising and promoting our own business, but I'm serious. It's just musical instruments. There are only so many. There are only so many that they can make. They're true. Really boutique, really high-end things. Companies that make them, they don't make huge amounts of profit. So a lot of the times they close because there's not enough money in it.
Right.
And so there are only so many high-end drums you can get, a very limited supply. And now it's even more limited for those Yamahas, for example, that you got. Those would have been the Japanese ones that were made with the Sakai shells. So you haven't been able to get those since maybe for quite a while.
Yeah.
And what are the sizes and what are the finishes on those?
I play
because Dave must have sold those to you because I
have the 3. I got the 3 colors. It comes in black, piano black,
like lacquer.
Yeah, lacquer, nice. And the natural, natural, and also the turquoise.
Right.
And
turquoise. So is that wood grain?
The green, wood
grain. That's
like
the old jazz showcase kit. Yeah. we had one with that was a maple one though. Are yours the birch ones? I think.
No, they the maple.
Okay, so they have those little square gold lugs.
Yes. They got all the they still have those.
Yamaha. One of the things that they do that not any other company I know of. When they do the cross lamination, there's like an angle if you look on the inside of your drums.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to make them sonically better and even more like physically solid too.
Yeah,
they're really very resonant drums.
Yes.
What are the sizes on your kits? Are they all the same or?
No, I use before when I used because I travel a lot. Sure. I used to use the big kit, but it started getting smaller as I got grown older.
Sure.
But I love playing the 8, 10, 12, 14.
Okay, yeah.
22.
Okay, 8, 10, 12, 14. That's a little uncommon because most of the time people would put 20s with that.
Right.
Or either or 16. Yeah, usually it'd be a 16 on the floor, but
Right.
a 14, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
good
did the
knives.
14. Well, I had the 14. I had the 16.
Right.
But, that's a lot to carry.
Sure, yeah. You don't really need it.
So, yeah. So I kind of started, as I got older.
Yamahas are super resonant too.
Yeah.
Those if you tune them. How do you tune your drums? Do you? I imagine probably for. Yeah, they're like what kind of heads do you use on the bass drum?
I use the Evans GQ3.
Okay, is that like
that's
their version of the Power Stroke? Or?
It's a clear, and it's got a baffle. It's got like a ring around.
So a little more muffled than a Power Stroke.
Yeah.
And then what do you do on the resonant head? Does it really matter? Or you...
No. On the resonant head, it doesn't. It doesn't really matter. I think I have
usually just a logo head that.
Yeah.
Do you got for the Mike Wheeler? Do you have like a logo on your drum?
I don't.
Those are always fun.
I don't have the logo, but what I did was I put our name.
Okay.
On it, of course, and I'm also covered. I'm endorsed by Vic Fur.
Nice.
I've been with them about 6-7 years.
I was being asked.
So
you're endorsed
I got
by them. Are you with Yamaha as well?
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not with Yamaha.
If Yamaha is listening.
Point. Yeah, I'm not with them at this point, but I've definitely been with Vic Fur a long time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make great stuff. What kind of sticks do you use?
The 5A extended.
5A extended.
Yeah.
So they're a little longer.
A little longer.
Yeah, I like their. I use the Regal Tip Jazz, which is just like that. It's a little bit longer. It's actually really similar to what I use.
Yeah.
I think Regal Tip may be like out of business, so I'm like shit out of luck.
Right.
It sucks. I really like those
hopefully
sticks.
you got a lot of them.
I don't. I don't. We have a drum shop here. I've only got maybe I think like 10 pairs left. I'm gonna have to transfer over to. I'll probably go to. Who knows? Maybe I'll contact like ProMark and see if they can make one to those specs, because no one makes one exactly to those specs. And actually, if I had my own stick made, I would even do a little bit thinner on the front, just a little bit, just because for like press rolls and stuff. I don't know if you really don't use too many press rolls. I use a lot of press rolls. Every tune, I do play a press roll pretty much.
Yeah, I don't use too many of them, but I do use them. Yeah. I try to use
when you
put everything.
When you had lessons at was that that was a college, right?
Right.
So what was your focus on? Because I think it would probably be a lot of classical stuff you did, right?
It was pretty much a lot of. Not too much
theory and stuff?
A lot of theory.
Oh, sure.
And book reading and just
Did you have
rudimentation?
Was it like a performance major?
It was.
I hear so much about that school. Believe it or not, I know like probably 30 people that went there. I'm not even exaggerating.
Right.
Yeah. I couldn't name all of them, but I just.
It was more. I was probably more on the private side. My teacher was Peter Romalis.
Oh yeah, it's always great to do a shout out for your teacher.
Man, I have to. I really would. I want to catch up with him. Hopefully.
Who knows? He might.
Yeah. Hopefully, he still
he might listen.
Be around, man. But I definitely have to catch up. I would want to catch up.
Are you like friends with him on Facebook? Maybe. That'd be a way to get a hold of him. I'll share this on Facebook, so when it goes up, maybe you'll see it. I don't know.
Yeah, you just never know. But man, drums, man. I just love drums, and I tell you a funny story with this place. I gotta tell you this story of this place. Okay, so I'm living over here, man, and I never knew.
This is in Glendale Heights, Illinois, which is like west of Chicago, maybe like 30 miles, 35 miles west of Chicago.
West of Chicago.
Almost directly west, a little north.
And I was talking to my friend. I said, man, I gotta go over to Guitar Center. Okay. So he says, man, why don't you go over to Steve's shop over here and off of Bloomingdale? I said, well, I've never been over there, He says, man, you should go over there. All right. So I would say, okay. So I got the address, and
You can do a shout out to him too.
First,
What's his
first,
name again?
the
The other shop? They're in Villa Park, I think, right?
Oh yeah, Guitar Center.
Oh, you were at Guitar Center. For some reason,
I was
thought you were
going
at...
to Guitar Center, but a
Right,
friend of
right.
mine, he told me to come over here,
Sure.
over to Steve's. So I was like, okay, wow, I didn't know. For some reason, man, I don't know. Like I said, I'm living in the '70s. I really didn't know that you guys were over here.
Yeah, we're like right next to you. You never
I
knew.
didn't realize that.
I'm sure there's others out there.
So
don't
he-
know we're here.
so
we don't
he-
have a sign.
Oh,
we're
my
really cool.
goodness.
We're so cool. We don't even have to have a sign.
He-
Actually, they won't allow us to put it on there. That's
he
why
t-
we don't.
he
have a
told
sign.
me, he said, man, call me when you leave the place. I said, okay. So I come over, I'm looking for the place, and I think I drive between the buildings, and I'm like,
Right.
man, where's this place at, you know? So I couldn't find it, so I go back up to the front, and I see the one door, and I say, I wonder, is that it? I think you got, what do you have, LP? What do you have? You have a symbol on the side of the window. It doesn't say
Oh.
actually. It's on the side of the window.
There's a thing that says Max
banner.
Webb Productions.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's probably what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
That-
maybe that's what I was
that's
looking
from.
at.
Yeah.
So I come into place, and I am strictly blown away, man. I could not believe it, man. I've been in awe ever since, and I'm in awe today because they got more drum space. It's just amazing. You know? You guys are so awesome. I mean, I fell in love when.
I'm glad you're so close. Yeah, because
Yeah, I'm right down the street.
Too many people that
Yeah.
this area is a little industrial. There's like some because I tried to do the jam session actually. I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And when we were in Naperville, it was easier to get people to come out. We're a little off the beaten trail. Glendale
Yeah.
Heights is in a weird. Yeah. How did you originally move here? I'm looking to buy a house now too, so I'm actually.
I came, my wife is from out here. I
Okay.
actually came from. I was over in Berkeley. I was over in Berkeley.
Okay,
I
sure.
stayed in Berkeley for years, and I lived on the third floor, and I used to have to get my drums up to the third floor.
Oh, gee, that's always fun.
because I couldn't leave them in the car.
Yeah, look, it's stolen. Yeah, you don't want to leave them in the car. That was when I was growing up. One of the things my dad taught me is never, ever leave your cymbals. Don't even ever put your cymbals where you can't see them.
Yeah.
And your drums, never leave them overnight in a car.
Yeah.
But your cymbals, they're actually the real. Those are so easy. Those will disappear in 2 seconds.
Right. So man, so that's kind of where I came from. My wife, we were when I was over in an apartment
Sure.
building. I actually owned the building.
Oh, nice.
So when
Invested in some real estate
when
there.
and then when I came home and told my wife, I said, hey, the job is closing, and she says, oh, good, you can have your drum career now. I said, wow, really? You know,
Sure.
She said, yeah. So she says, we got to get a house because I was in an apartment building first. So she says, we got to get a house.
How many years ago was this?
Ooh, man, let's see. My daughter is 23. I want to say 23 years.
23 years,
20,
okay.
20, yeah.
So it's around
23.
2000.
Yeah.
Right around, okay.
Yeah.
So you've been out
So-
here for about 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Are you in actually Glendale Heights?
No, Carroll Stream.
Carroll Street. Oh, so
Yeah.
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 It's just everything out here is just pretty. Everything's easier. You know, everything's. It's just very. It's kind of boring sometimes. I don't know, but
Yeah.
but it's just there's less. Less ways for like people. When I lived on Ashland and Fullerton in the city, it was just such a. Like there were all these always drunk college kids from what's the DePaul?
DePaul, yeah,
because there are all these bars out there. So there was a mixture of them, and then there was this club that there was always a fight happening.
Yeah.
But out here it's just everyone's a little bit further apart. So even about the garbage collection in the city, I always used to get in arguments because I was in the coach house, and so about whose dumpster is whose.
Oh.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. That's a funny story.
Wow.
One of my Chicago stories. One of the reasons not to live in between right in between two different aldermen.
Yeah.
Because no
okay.
one cares about you.
Nobody.
It's like barely in the. It's almost
Right.
Yeah. What about down when you grew up? So what year did you move out of Chicago? Was it 2000-ish?
Yeah.
Although you were in some suburbs just outside of the city.
Outside of the city, yeah. I didn't want to always. I always wanted to be close to the city because all my gigs were in the city.
Right.
You know,
and still it sounds like you're playing.
yeah. They're still in the city.
It's cool. A lot of these clubs that you're talking about, I've never heard of before, so I want to.
Yeah, well, they all blues, pretty much blues.
It always seems to be like there should be more blues in Chicago than there is.
Yeah. Well. That's for sure.
It's great to hear about some. What about? Do you know what's a really good Chicago blues jam session that people could maybe go to? Or out in the burbs. Actually, for me, it'd be easier if it was out in the burbs.
Well, they have one at Legends. I think it's on Wednesdays.
Legends, okay.
Yeah.
And where's that?
Buddy Guy's Legends.
Oh, okay. I've actually been to that one before, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you've been to that one? It was on a Wednesday?
I think
Wednesday?
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like 15 years ago I went there.
Well, that
really
might have been at his old club.
It was.
8th and Wabash.
That's right. It was. Yeah. It was like a big. I think it was painted light blue or something.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You got to go to his new club. His new club is fabulous.
And that used to be called the Hot House.
Oh,
right.
His
Where
new
they are
club.
now.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was like an art gallery. So I have been there, but I've only been there as the Hot House. I've never been there.
Oh yeah.
Since he moved in.
He totally changed it. It's beautiful.
That's great.
He's got a great club. Great club there.
Yeah. That part of the city is all kinds of stuff to go to. The Jazz Showcase down there as well.
Yes. We played at the. What was the name of that? Oh man, I'm thinking. Oh, I'm losing memory.
It's okay. That happens to me all the time. We'll be in the middle of a podcast and I'll just try to remember someone's name. It's like I can't remember. I love this guy, but I can't remember his name.
Where they have seafood there. Shaw's Crab House.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shaw's Crab House, and they have a jazz club.
Shaw's Crab House. Is it in the city?
Yeah, it's right next to the. What address is the jazz? Is it on Hubbard?
Well, it used to be the Jazz Showcase. Now it's down on Plymouth. Yeah, Plymouth. Oh. They moved maybe like 10. You know Dearborn Station? It's really close to where Buddy Guy's is. It's west of it, and it's that old train station. The Jazz Showcase is in there now.
Oh, okay. So it's not, but
you're thinking of the place that was up north. They were across from an Italian restaurant.
Oh, wait a minute, Andy's maybe?
Actually maybe
Andy's.
Maybe you are thinking of Andy's. Andy's is another great club.
Great club, that might be next to Shaw.
I've only been to. I don't think I've ever actually been inside of Andy's. It's weird. I never make it there.
Yeah, that's a good club.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah, but we play pretty much all the major blues clubs. Before COVID.
Yeah.
Before COVID, man, we did the NBA party when they were here.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yes, man, that was so awesome.
Where was that?
That was at the McCormick Place.
Ooh.
And it was like 3,000 people there at McCormick Place.
That was
for that gig. And they were serving food.
Which kid did you bring to that?
No kits for them, man. They supplied everything.
Oh,
it was such a good gig, man. We just gave them our stage,
Don't even have to worry about
plot, and whatever symbols we wanted, and they just supplied everything. It was like the best gig.
Did they get you a Yamaha?
They got the Yamaha. And
that's great.
And they got the Yamaha, and all I needed to bring was my sticks.
that's the best it could possibly be.
And I tell you, we played the McCormick Place and also Navy Pier.
Okay.
And what they do is they give you a big play clock. The one that the play clock it's just like the sports arena. And when that clock counts down, like you might only have to play 45 minutes, and they count you down. When that clock reached 0,
Okay.
you stop.
Sure.
just like if you was playing ball, you know,
Sure.
after the buzzer.
That's
you know,
funny.
they had a big giant clock, and I never forget that clock. It was huge, you know. And he says, when that clock reaches 0, you stop playing.
So it's like right in the middle of the tune. You're
Right,
just-
right. No, well, yeah.
That's
they didn't care.
Right.
Oh man, that was awesome though. Man. That was a good gig, man. The mayor was there.
Oh yeah.
We got a chance to meet the mayor.
Which mayor was it? Was that Daly?
No. I'm sorry. The one now.
Oh yeah, sure.
Lightfoot.
her name? Lori Lightfoot, yeah.
Lightfoot. Yeah.
I
She
don't have to
she
know her
actually
name.
gave a shout out to
I
us.
don't even know the name of the
Yeah.
mayor of my own city.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the mayor of Naperville or Glendale Heights, actually.
Yeah.
But everyone knows Lori Lightfoot.
Yeah. Lightfoot. Man, it was
She's a pretty
good.
big media figure, yeah.
Yeah, she gave a shout out.
She gets international press all the time.
when
Whether it's good or
when she
bad.
was up there, she says, "I like to give a shout out to the Mike Wheeler band."
Sure.
So she shout out.
That's
to
awesome.
Yeah, she gave us a shout out.
Nice.
So that was cool, man.
So that was like right before COVID?
Right. That was
Okay.
February.
And then everything kind of died out for a long time, it sounds like. You've been
Long time.
And you could if you would have known the shop was here.
Oh, I
you
could've-
could have come and hung out the whole time.
You would have been
like
open.
just found us.
You would have been open.
Well, I mean, we don't get much foot traffic, you know.
Right.
So
Okay.
we did close the doors for a while. But if you were like our buddy, I mean, you could still come by.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
for a while, technically, we did close the
Yeah.
doors to anyone coming in. But
Yeah.
it was as short as legally possible. And then we always kept. This is media. What we're doing right now.
Right.
So there was a thing in there that said media companies can keep working. So
Right.
we're doing. But anyways,
So you're doing that.
yeah, that's when the podcast.
Yeah.
If you watch, that's when we kind of really
Kinda
started. My dad had done a couple earlier, but that was just kind of him talking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing now, that was kind of the genesis of that
Right.
actually becoming a thing. Because for a while, it was just like, oh, what are we gonna do now?
Right.
My dad brought up all his. One thing that we did. My dad brought out all of his Fibes drums. He has this big collection, like you see behind you there, that white Fibes kit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are pretry cool. Have you ever played on one of those before?
No,
They're-
I was amazed on that the bass drum. It's real shallow.
Oh, it's a 14. Yeah, it's 14. It might just look
14?
Yeah, 14
Yeah.
by 22,
Yeah.
and that's a 12, 13, 16,
Yeah.
and that's in. They call it Feifel. It's in like white Feifel,
Oh wow.
which is it actually has like a texture.
Yeah.
So we were
I
talking
was
about the
checking that out.
70s. Like this
Yeah.
kit is like ultra modern 70s aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was like cutting edge in the 70s.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they're all made of fiberglass, so it's not wood, it's fiberglass.
Oh, it's just got a shell. It's just got a wrap to it.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay,
kind of
a
it's
wrap.
like a textured,
Okay.
textured wrap
Okay.
around it.
Okay.
I don't know what it's made out of, but
So if it's fiberglass, that's probably a loud drum, right?
it is loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually think that plastic maybe sounds a little more because there's like Vistalites and stuff, and they did acrylic drums as well. They called it, I think, Crystalite, maybe I can't remember. But it's interesting. Fibes drums are probably maybe even the loudest of all, except metal.
Yeah.
Metal is really loud, and then plastic is actually pretty warm sounding, and so is wood. Kind of warm and because
Yeah.
it's just a softer material.
It's a softer material. Yeah.
But that stuff really, if you wanted a kit that would just it sounds good. Like it'll carry. They're also,
Yeah.
the shells are made in a way that I don't think those kind of shells will ever be made again. Here's an example. Yeah, like Buddy Rich used a Fibes snare drum.
Oh wow.
And I think he had it made like it was a Slingerland, but it was actually a Fibes shell because he loved them so much.
Right.
Because they were going for real sensitive and that'll do that, the Fibes drum.
To give you the sensitivity.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you tune your snare drum. How do you tune your snare drum? There's a question for you. Why not?
Well, I play the 13s. I play it like a
Oh, you
my
like-
snare player.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play a VK, and it's a 13 by 6.5, and it's a metal. It's a metal drum, and it's actually made of titanium.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Titanium.
So,
I've seen
yeah.
it done it. That was titanium.
Yeah.
Before. What's the maker again?
VK.
VK.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about VK.
Yeah, they're over in
Jake, you ever heard of VK?
VK Drums. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Jake, what's the on Joe Rogan podcast? What do they call him again?
Jamie.
You're the Jamie. Yeah, he's the Jamie. I don't know if you ever listened to. Are you in any podcasts? There's some cool drums ones out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, the Modern Drummer, they've got a pretty cool drums podcast. We're just kind of starting ours, but
okay.
But yeah, we got some
awesome.
we got some listeners.
Yeah,
we're doing
that's
well.
cool.
I'll share it all with you.
Yeah,
you can do.
please do.
First, the audio version will go up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jake, did you ever make an audio version of the last one?
No.
We probably forgot to, didn't we? We gotta post that. Oh, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it.
Okay.
Maybe I did. No, because that's the one with Matt Wilson, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. All right.
Going up tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Yeah. Matt came by. He was the last guy. I don't know if you heard him. He's a jazz musician. Have you ever heard of Craviato? That's one thing. Mm-hmm. I got to get you hip to Craviato snare drums.
Okay.
So you like 13s?
Yeah, I like the 13, the smaller one.
It's a single ply drum. That's what Craviato does, which is really unique. Mm-hmm. Just a single ply snare drum, and they're really, really beautiful drums. They're really easy to tune. I don't know if I have a 13 though, but I'll look for one.
Yeah, I that's what I like. I always get a good compliment. We did a festival. We just did a festival in Ohio not too long ago, and
I got a lot of customers in Ohio, actually.
Doing
if you're listening,
yeah,
I'm saying hi to you, guys.
Doing the sound check.
Hey, girls.
I didn't have to. They have their own drums, right? So in the sound check, I didn't use my snare drum, right? So when we did the sound check, I used their snare drum.
Sure.
So I used their snare drum, and the drummer to the next band, he was saying that that snare drum that I used, which was theirs, didn't sound bad, right?
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, that snare drum's not bad." But then when we came down, when it was our turn to play, I used my snare drum.
Okay.
And man, he came in there. He said, "What? When he came in, because it was their turn to play after us, so he got a chance to hear my snare drum.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, what kind of drum is that? Wow, you got a good crack, because we." Blues and R&B, you gotta have a good crack.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta have a good crack snare.
And that's a titanium one.
Yeah.
Is it a thick shell or kind of a thin shell?
It's kind of a medium shell.
I have heard titanium drums before, and
it's pretty loud.
Yeah, it's that metal. I got to learn more about titanium because I know a lot about brass, and I know a lot about steel and bronze and copper and aluminum. I know a fair amount about those metals, but titanium, I don't know too much about it.
Yeah,
I know it's really, really strong metal.
Strong.
It's super resistant to heat. I know. I'm pretty sure, and I don't know if it's harder though technically than regular steel, but I think it probably is harder. And so that would probably give you like a more crack, like you were saying. Yeah,
good crack.
I kind of call that high end resonance. Yeah, maybe that's really,
and
especially if you got a 13.
Yeah,
you're never gonna get a sound quite like that with a Craviato, but you can get maybe the closest you could get with a wooden drum, with a drum like that. Although, it sounds like you might like stave drums too. Stave drums are really good at getting that crack.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So funny. There's so many different styles.
Yeah.
It sounds like you probably tune pretty high.
I do. Just the snare.
Right.
I like a nice crack, and then you don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
You can kind of, get the backbeat on that bad boy.
Sure.
And that's what he said when he came. He said, "Man, where'd you get that drum?" I said, "Man, that's my secret weapon."
Sure, secret weapon.
That's the one I love using.
Right.
So he said, man, I see that's a good drum. You know, I get so many compliments from sound guys on that drum.
That's great.
They say, wow, that snare sound good. You know? It's not overabundant, but it's like right there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and you got that bass clipping, you know, playing, you know, it blends right in with it. You know?
Right.
So I'm really happy on it.
Yeah, Cleo. Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I think we covered most of the bases. Is there anything else
Yeah.
you wanted to go into? And
Wow,
you know,
man,
like we could talk again sometime. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
that this is the only one. Like if sometimes the first one, you know, just chat and then
man,
I don't know if there's another like COVID thing or something.
Yeah.
If
Well,
we're bored again, we can
man,
come by.
I am so
You're
happy.
right in the neighborhood.
I'm so happy to be here, man, and I'm
Yeah.
so happy I found you. Oh my goodness,
It's
I
so
can't-
weird. Just
you like
randomly came in one day.
yeah, you're like a hidden jewel, you know.
Thanks,
You
man.
like,
Thank
I
you.
mean, and I love it. And every time I come here, you got new surprises. Like,
New stuff.
like you like when I came in to see you today, I was at your regular building, and he says, "Oh no, he's at the other warehouse."
Yeah, right.
I said, "What other warehouse? This thing is huge over here. why would he need another warehouse? You know."
It's-
And I come over here and voila.
out of control, man. It's out of control.
You got, man, it's beautiful over here. I just love the place. You know.
Well,
I'm moving in.
We're doing that jam session, so I'll let you know
Yeah,
if you're free.
for sure.
I think it's just a week from today. Yeah, and we're literally just going to be playing.
Yeah.
So, Jake plays a lot of instruments. Noah plays drums most of the time. I can play some keys though. Maybe
Yeah,
we
that'd
have a
be good.
piano there.
Nice.
And I'm gonna make frozen pizzas.
Nice.
That's what we're gonna do. That's because we used to do the jam and it became this big like thing. It was more like jazz oriented, but I'm kind of done with that. I think I'm just gonna do just anything. Yeah, there's really no rules.
Yeah.
Just anything goes on
Just
this
play.
jam session.
Yeah.
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 It'll probably end up being a lot of blues. Blues is kind of universal language.
It is.
It's like that.
It truly is.
That chord progression. It's it's
it's
the American language.
And it's taken me all around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Monaco. I've been, oh man, it's beautiful. You know, I was in Monaco with oh man, these names. 1 minute.
Sure, yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness. I got a mind block.
Are you thinking of a city?
No, I'm thinking of the jazz drummer. Oh, I was with, man.
Oh, I could probably-
I hung out with him.
Is
Roy
he-
Haynes.
Oh, Roy Haynes,
my
sure.
goodness. Yes.
I
I'm
saw
sorry.
I saw Roy Haynes. He's
Man.
I've seen him a couple times at the showcase.
I was in Monaco with him, and we hung out for about an hour, just me and him talking, just
Nice.
like me and
That's
you.
recently,
talking.
right?
Well, that was.
It could have been, 'cause he's- yeah.
It was long. It was a while back, maybe. I want to say maybe about 15 years. You know, it's been a while back. But what was so cool about him is he is so down to earth. I said, Roy, when you gonna come out with one of them self-taught videos, you know, that everybody else is coming out with?
Yeah.
He says, man, are you kidding? I'm a self-taught musician. I don't know about all that stuff. He was so modest and cool, man. He was just a wonderful guy, you know.
That's great.
So, but the blues, like it takes me everywhere.
Yeah.
Mexico, I've been to Mexico.
Who are some like greats in the blues that you want to just like that were influences for you? Don't have to be
Oh.
drummers.
Oh my goodness. Muddy Waters, of course.
Sure.
You know. Buddy Guy, you know, he's a wonderful person, and you say they don't have to be blues or.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Yeah, like what about
I mean,
drummers? What
I
about some
love-
like blues drummers?
oh my
that
goodness.
Really,
Well, see, I love all drummers.
okay.
I love, man, the Billy Cobhams,
Sure.
the Louis Belsons, the Buddy Riches. Man, I just love all of them guys, you know. So,
Yeah.
and I listen to all of them. In my phone, I got over like 20,000
Yeah.
songs in it, and it's jazz. It's all jazz, R&B, blues, reggae. I try to listen to anything with drums in it.
Reggae is
know?
a fun
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah.
I used to teach like really young kids, and this was at a school. I did a podcast with this guy, and I had like 5, maybe 10 students. It was just a little school, and they were like absolute beginners. Like they had never touched a drum set before, and they were just learning. I kind of did it for fun. I was working here at the time, but I was planning on having kids for myself, so I was like, why not? I'll try it out, and I'll see if I
See what happens.
yeah, and it was fun. So I was like, we should have a kid, and then now we have 2 kids.
Yeah.
But these kids, a lot of the times the first kind of beat that they would play would be just naturally. Would be kind of similar to a reggae feel, because like the reggae feel, like a lot of the times, not always, but oftentimes, like the bass drum hits on like the 2 and 4, right?
Right.
Like instead of like the 1 and 3, and that's just, they always would do that. I always thought that was interesting. That's just the first thing, because they want to hit the right foot at the same time they hit the, you know what I mean? The coordination isn't quite there yet.
Right.
So it's a very like natural way to play the kit.
Yeah.
Because everything kind of falls in line, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to a lot of reggae in my life, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some nice...
Yeah, I'm just trying to listen to, if you got drums, I'm there,
Yeah.
And I even, just to show my love, my love for this instrument, I back in the, let me see, about maybe 15, maybe 20 years ago, I had carpal tunnel.
Oh, geez.
I actually had it in both hands. And I went to the doctor.
You're probably playing too much, yeah.
Yeah, he told me. He says, well, it's, you
working all
could
the
stop playing or have the surgery. That's the option he gave me.
Yeah.
What
did you do?
I had the surgery.
Oh,
I had the surgery, and I had it.
It came out good?
It came out excellent.
Nice.
I had it in both hands. So he wouldn't operate on both hands at the same time.
Where was the pain?
It was to the point where when I was playing, I couldn't hold the stick.
Oh,
it was just no pain. It's just pins and needles.
Oh, you're like losing sensation. Huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And boy, I'm telling you, it was something, man. And then it was weird, because they would always holler drum solo, and right when I really couldn't feel it, and I have to literally hold them like baseball bats.
Make sure you don't drop
so I wouldn't let them go.
That's hilarious.
So
I've never played that much where you get to the point where it's almost you become like an athlete as a musician. That a lot of musicians talk about, like the stress. I've always been fortunate. I play some, but it's not to the point where I'm gonna like
Really?
probably injure myself.
Injure yourself, right?
So you were doing like 5?
Yeah.
Didn't you say like 5, 6 nights a week?
Yeah,
sometimes?
we were working pretty often.
That's a lot.
But then what he says, I said, well, okay, give me the surgery. I have the surgery because I don't want to stop playing.
Sure.
So I had the surgery. He did one hand. And then I would come out to the gigs with my one hand taped up. I couldn't do anything. I could just watch the band.
Oh, sure. Get a sub for the gig.
Get a sub for the gig. And I watched him. And then about 6 months later, he did the other hand.
I'm so glad it worked out well for you.
It worked out so well. When I called him, and he thought I was calling him to complain because I think sometimes it doesn't work on some people.
Sure.
Depending on
Do you know what they
age
did?
and well, he went in there and he opened up that they cut the artery. And here
The tendon.
the tendon.
They like
not
don't
the-
they like open it up
Yeah.
and then make it so it can move freely?
Yes. And that's what he did. And you see, he's so good, you can't even tell it's done.
Yeah, I don't see.
You don't see anything, right?
Right, yeah.
And I had it done in both hands.
I'm so glad it worked out well for you.
I called him up and I said, man, I just want you.
That kind of stuff always scares me.
I told him, man, I wanted to just thank you for saving my career.
Right.
Because man, I didn't want to stop.
As a drummer, you need all 4 of your limbs,
Yes.
without a doubt.
You do.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Actually, there have been some great drummers who had injuries. Of course, there's always that. But
Well, that's
if you're like a guitar player and you break your ankle, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like you can still play really without any. You can't stand on the stage. But if you're a drummer, I say this because I I had a kind of a scare maybe a year and a half ago. I'm all right though, but yeah, I busted my ankle. And learning to play again was weird.
Yeah.
I was playing when I had the boot on still, trying to.
Yeah. Oh, okay. With the boot on. Was
Yeah,
that your
it wasn't like a bad. It was my left ankle. It wasn't like a
okay.
bad.
So that's the hi-hat.
I just like slipped and it was a hi-hat foot. Just kind of like one of those moments where you realize you're mortal, and like
Yeah, that's for sure. That's
like
for
geez, I better take better care of myself.
Yeah. Well, I do. Drums are so physical. At least it's physical. So
Sure.
what I do is I try to eat right. I exercise. I still play basketball.
Oh, nice.
I play basketball on
I haven't played basketball in so
Tuesdays
long.
and Thursdays.
I used to love basketball though.
And we play at the gym at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday. In fact, tomorrow.
That's early.
Right. Tomorrow I'll be playing basketball. And,
Good way to
it's
start
just
the day, though, I think.
It's just it gets you in shape, and I just try to do a lot of active things to
Nice.
keep so I could drum. It's all connected.
You guys ever need an extra player? Let me know.
It's all
I'm
connected.
not good though.
Yeah, oh.
I'm awful. I'm absolutely awful.
Well, you could come out.
Let me know if
And it's all
I need
ages.
to practice. I could become good, okay again.
Yeah.
I used to be pretty good at free throws, but really nothing else. Yeah.
Well,
I'm a good defender too, actually.
Well, it's
I'm
all
a pretty big
it's
guy.
all
yeah.
ages. So
Oh, okay.
I could be the oldest one there.
So it's not like really, cutthroat. Like
No, well, that we play a full court.
Sure. That's a lot of running. Yeah.
It's a lot of running, and you just have to gear up for it. But it helps.
I need
me.
to get in shape again. I used to be big into skateboarding when I was younger.
Oh,
so
nice.
that would just always do all my exercise. I used to use it as transportation. So I'd go from the train station, I'd skateboard 6 miles
Oh,
home
wow.
and then 6 miles back to the train station. It was just this is what I did before I had a car, and then and then when I was in the city, I used to bike everywhere.
Oh,
I don't know if you've ever been a big biker.
Yeah.
That's another really good way to keep yourself cardiovascular.
Yeah. keep it flowing. Keep
Right.
everything flowing. Yeah. I'm a big biker too. I love biking.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the COVID thing, and then always, everything out there is trying to get you. So you keep yourself strong, keep your immune system strong, and something's gonna get you eventually. But hopefully,
Oh yeah, for sure.
no one lives forever.
Yeah,
but-
it's no getting around that.
Right.
But at least I had said that I'm gonna play as long as I can.
Yeah.
As long as the Lord will let me play.
Yeah, right
I
on.
should say that. But I'm having a ball, and man, it's just nothing like it. I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah, Cleo. Well, yeah.
Thanks for having me, man.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. I mean, you guys like I said, you're like a hidden jewel for me, man. I just a hidden gem, I should say.
Sure.
But man, you guys are awesome here, and
Thanks, man.
Man, keep doing what you're doing, man. And
We will. Yeah,
and-
we'll be
and
around.
I know you got another third warehouse around here.
Yeah,
I'm just
sure.
gonna
We'll have
wait.
another warehouse next time.
I'm gonna see what you probably doing.
What are we up to now?
Filming over there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we film over here. We
Right.
we do documentaries and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you so much.